But I've got a very personal announcement that I'm making today. I joined the Liberal Party when I was 17 years of age because I believe it's important for people to be able to choose their own paths in life, that they should be rewarded for their hard work and their effort and enterprise, and that everyone, regardless of their background or experience, deserves the respect and opportunity to live their best life. I have been profoundly grateful for the opportunity to be able to represent those values and the great privilege that I have had to represent the issues of my local community, those big and small issues, as the federal member for Higgins. However, today, after much agonising and with a heavy heart, I am announcing that I will not be recontesting for the seat of Higgins at the next election. This decision has been made both harder but also easier because of my great friendship and profound respect for the Prime Minister. He is someone who I am absolutely confident will lead our government to victory in May. I need to be honest about the fact that I can't commit to another 3 years and continue to deliver the quality of service that my country, my party and my community are entitled to expect. There have been too many by-elections of late, and I have no intention of causing a by-election in the next Parliament. The reasons are complex, and most compellingly, the decisive reasons are very personal. Normally, of course, I wouldn't canvass them at all, but there will be some who try and use my announcement today to advance their own agendas, and I absolutely do not want that. My two smart and loving children, Olivia and Edward, who are here with me today, will reach primary school age during the next Parliament. In compiling photo books and in looking at all of those special moments over the Christmas period, I have seen how many of them I have missed, and I know how many I will miss. Everyone makes sacrifices for their work, and I know that I am in a more fortunate position than most. But I no longer want to consistently miss out on seeing my children when they wake up in the morning or go to bed at night. And I want to know that when I am around, my time with them is not constantly disrupted. And it's clear to me that they also want to spend more time with me as well. There is another very personal reason. Like so many families, our journey to parenthood has not been straightforward. If my husband and I want to give ourselves the opportunity, the best opportunity, to have a third child, we need to be very realistic. I turn 42 years of age this year, and everything would have to go right. This does not mean that men or women need to choose between family and public service. They don't. Of course, there are sacrifices, and for a time I have willingly made them. With the right support, you can do both, and do both well. I'm enormously grateful not only to my loving husband John, but also to Malcolm Turnbull, to Julie Bishop and to Scott Morrison for leading through their actions, including supporting a breastfeeding mother in Cabinet and on the Expenditure Review Committee. However, no job is forever, and after 4 elections and going on a decade in the Parliament, it's time to give someone else the opportunity to serve. There are so many talented Liberals who can bring a new energy to this seat. I look back at my parliamentary and my ministerial career with gratitude and with satisfaction. Superannuation is now on a more sustainable footing, and more Australians have an opportunity to unlock its potential through reforms such as deductible personal contributions and also catch-up contributions. I'm proud to have taken on vested interests in the sector by introducing legislation that better protects the retirement savings of millions of Australians, by capping fees, by making sure that those fees are low on low balance accounts, by banning exit fees on all accounts, improving insurance arrangements and proactively reuniting lost and inactive superannuation accounts with their rightful owners. The Senate must urgently legislate these reforms in order to save millions of Australians billions of dollars of their own money. My consumer focus has seen the Australian Financial Complaints Authority established, world-leading whistleblower protections introduced, and our insolvency laws overhauled. Together with the Prime Minister, I'm proud to have contributed to legislated tax cuts for small and medium-sized enterprises and tax cuts for individuals that will see the 37% tax rate abolished altogether. As a member of the Expenditure Review Committee, I'm also proud to have been able to play my part in returning the budget to surplus, whilst also championing key infrastructure projects such as the Victorian Airport Rail Link. Legislation passed recently that sets the minimum standards for the workplace for family and domestic violence leave will help so many families. I also hope that last year's inaugural Women's Economic Security Statement is an initiative that all governments will commit to, whether through more flexible paid parental leave or emergency access to finance for those who are experiencing domestic violence. It is essential that we continue to build women's economic security. I'm also proud to have been part of securing the permanent home for Australia's first children's hospice here in the heart of Higgins. Very Special Kids is one of Australia's most important and impressive organisations, helping families care for profoundly ill children and being there to support them when the most awful thing happens and a child dies. I'm profoundly grateful for their work and their compassion. I want to place on record my thanks to the people of Higgins who've entrusted me to represent them. I want to thank Malcolm Turnbull and Scott Morrison for the opportunity to contribute in Cabinet, to my brilliant and very talented staff, to the public servants in my various portfolios, to the wonderful team at our childcare centre, to the Liberal Party and to my very dedicated local party members and the executive and my supporters. Most especially, I'd like to thank my family, who have been continuously and always understanding, and for their unconditional love. But finally, I would like to particularly thank the Prime Minister, and I'd particularly like to thank Jenny. They have given me wholehearted support in reaching this decision together with John. I've been able to work with the Prime Minister, not only in his current role, but also as Treasurer. And I'm pleased to be able to call him my friend. And I absolutely know that he is the right person to be able to lead our nation. And I will work with him every step of the journey, both locally and nationally, to ensure that our government is re-elected at the upcoming election. Our children's future and the future of generations that will follow absolutely depends on it. Thank you.
Well done.
Thank you.